Joe Biden has stepped down as a leader of the Democrats on the election for the presidency. I'm sure you heard about it. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by again. You very much appreciated. We are in the United States of America. Very important for us to understand. I think we must always come together, and discuss because we need a perspective from an African view, on an African lens. Yeah, you know, when they tell you things, they don't necessarily say things the way they are. They're going to bring you things in a way that is appropriate for them. So we need to see things on our own perspective, our own lens. So Joe Biden has stepped down. Okay, it's a bit of a shocking movement. Very first time an American president steps down so far into the campaign, so far into the election, and is going to be replaced by Kamala Harris, the vice president of America. So now we're going to try to find out why. So what are the reasons why Joe Biden has stepped down? Very interestingly, I know many people see Biden after looking at what Biden has done in the past few years, the way he's behaved, the way his body's behaved. I'm sure he didn't want to behave that way. You're going to be shocking. I mean, look at this. I mean, the president looks old. You can barely go upstairs into the airplane. Very difficult. It's not a good look for a powerful country like the United States of America. I mean, look at this one too. He looks very confused, very lost. A few days ago, Joe Biden with many other presidents were meeting the president of Ukraine to discuss about the war in Ukraine. And unfortunately, he ended up calling the Ukrainian president Vladimir Putin. Listen to this.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
I mean, you make mistakes. We are humans. We can make mistakes. But we're talking here about a war, two countries at war, and Putin is supposed to be the enemy. The enemy. You cannot call the victim on the name of the enemy. It just doesn't sound right. And again, he said, it's not for nothing that I chose President Trump as my vice president.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Trump is not the vice president. The vice president is Kamala Harris. So it was a very embarrassing moment. Many people have seen Biden step down as a candidate and perhaps don't understand what kind of work has been done behind the screen. So Biden was irritated a couple of days ago because he went through an interview where he felt he was being pressurized to step down as a president. So in other words, Joe Biden wanted to continue as a candidate for the presidency in the United States of America. Joe Biden irritated with Barack Obama as pressure growth amid White House race. Biden views Mr. Obama as the puppet master behind the scene regarding the conversation of the campaign. So basically, in other words, the Democrats were tired of Joe Biden. Even the strongest supporter of Joe Biden had turned the back on him. Barack Obama was one of them. He doesn't feel like Joe Biden is fit to run as president again. And apparently, with Joe Biden, they had lost 31% of the black women's voters. 31% of black voters, women, chose not to vote for Biden because they don't feel that he's fit as a president. Now, on this interview where Biden has been asked a question on whether he's going to stay president or not, you can see him become very defensive very quickly. Watch this.
If I had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country, in spite of the fact they're told we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
He's saying the reason why I would consider not being president is if the doctors say that there's something wrong with me, then perhaps I would consider that. But clearly he was being very, very defensive. And on another interview, unfortunately I couldn't find it, where Biden was given a small note. And on the small note it says, be nice, you're beginning to sound defensive. And guess what Biden did? He read it loud. Be nice, you're beginning to sound defensive. Imagine that in front of people. So what happened? On July 19th, former US President Barack Obama told allies that Joe Biden need to reconsider his election. Mr. Obama believed that Mr. Biden's path to victory has diminished and that the 81-year-old should slowly consider the viability of his candidacy. So Barack Obama had been putting pressure on Biden to step down. So Nancy Pelosi, who's the ex-speaker, said to Biden that you're going to lose against Trump. And if you lose, you're going to take down the House with you. So we're going to lose our position as powerful. And Joe Biden responded with defensiveness. So what's happening is this. Joe Biden did not decide to step down. What happened is they had a discussion with Biden asking him to step down and he refused to do so. So what they did was they started leaking information into the media, getting the media to start publishing the information saying that Biden is stepping down. Biden is stepping down with the hope that Biden will eventually say, you know what? You've already published it. It's fine. So since you've already said it, it's fine. I'm going to step down. So that's exactly what has happened. Joe Biden did not want to step down as president or candidate. I mean, he still feels that he's fit. Like you saw in an interview saying that his mental capacity is still good. So what the Democrats had to do, because they lost so many votes of black people, is to find somebody else to replace him. And who is that person that they need to replace him? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris looks black. But in his origin, she's not black. She's a mixture of Indonesia or something. She's not black. Kamala Harris is not black. Why is that important in America? It's very sad because America votes based on representation. They just want to see a black face or somebody that looks similar to black. Even if the person does nothing for the black people, well, as long as it looks kind of black, it's fine. I look like they have my best interest of heart. And that is very sad because that's also part of the international policy of America. Whenever America wants to bring out a law or punish your people, they're going to bring you somebody that looks just like you. I mean, remember when America sent somebody to say to African countries not to deal with Russia in the beginning of the war. If you deal with Russia, you're going to be sanctioned too. And why do they do that? So you don't feel like you're being a victim of racism. They need to show you somebody that looks like you. Now, how do you gain the vote of black voters? You bring them a black face or something similar to black, and they're going to vote. And most of the time, they don't even check. They don't do a statistic check of what have they really concretely done for us as black people or as a group of people. For most cases, unfortunately, they're going to vote. Now, what's the reason why people don't like Trump? Trump wants to remove many things. Like in America, they give money to ladies who have no husbands, but they have children. So if you have a child and there's no father for it, you're going to get some money from government. And unfortunately, something that sounds positive, in most cases, many ladies feel like they can have 3 kids with different fathers, 5 kids, 6 kids with different fathers, provided that they're getting money from the government. Is that a good thing? I don't know if that's a good thing. So Trump doesn't want that. And people who practice those things are not happy about that. So there are many things that need to be reconsidered. And the easiest way to dismiss him is to say he's racist, he's a misogynist. But if you look at things, why is he qualified as racist? It's very interesting. So once again, fellas, Joe Biden has stepped down as a runner for presidency in the United States of America. He will be replaced by Kamala Harris with the hopes to defeat Donald Trump. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a good pleasure. God bless.